Brilliant. So, you know Matt from conversations you've had already and from previous sessions today. I'm Brad, I'm Head of Data Science and Creative Technology. My background is at agencies, so I've been part of Mission for about 12 years, for a long time in a mission agency, Bray down in the southwest.
Oh, excuse me, over here.
And my background is as a developer. So for a long time, I built amazing digital things, and then I was promoted to run teams of people that build amazing digital things. A big part of our offer in that team was differentiation through elevation. So we wanted to deliver an elevated tech offer to get away from the somewhat commoditized sort of web and app development world that existed at the time. And of course, when you talk about an elevated tech offer, you can't go very far without encountering AI. So about 5 years ago, I started developing Brayleno's AI capability, and we've had some notable successes there. And then about this time last year, I started talking to Matt about starting in a central role to lead on this topic for the group. So I've been doing that for 9 months now, and yeah, really pleased with the progress that we've made so far. So I'm going to talk very briefly about sort of the AI explosion. I know that we know in terms of sort of newspaper inches and headlines and stuff like that, AI is more talked about than ever. I know we've all got our own personal experiences of AI and our own professional experiences of AI, but I thought I'd bring the AI boom to life with a few facts rather than sort of conjecture. So the first one is that research continues to boom in the world of AI. So there's a little bit of a cooling and attitudes towards it in some places when it comes to Silicon Valley investment and everything else. But the reality is there's almost 500,000 research papers are being published every year on AI still, which is an astounding amount of research. And it's escaped the confines of Silicon Valley. Most of this research is being published in China and in Europe now, which is a significant step forwards. Although we talk about AI research in academia, actually when it comes to the application of AI, industry is starting to lead the charge now, rather than it living in labs and living in academic papers. So this is a recent piece of research that says that of the significant AI systems deployed globally, most of them are deployed in industry now. So the likes of ChatGPT, but also many systems sort of below that in terms of complexity. And we see businesses of all kinds deploying AIs of all types as well. So you can see across all industries, so business, financial services, healthcare, high-tech and marcoms are producing AIs of all different types. So virtual agents, robotic process automation, and everything else. And you can see there are sort of clusters of areas that are sort of better developed and more invested in, and ones that are sort of less developed. There's a big theme around robotic process automation. We were just talking about something similar earlier, and that's a big emphasis for a lot of industries and something that we see becoming increasingly important in the work that we're doing. We also see that people that use AI in their workplace are happier and more productive. There's an amazing stat here. I am more fulfilled with my job. 60% of developers that use Copilot say they're more fulfilled with their job. This is something that costs $20 a head. Now, if I came to you with a $20 solution to make each of your employees 60% more satisfied with their work, then you'd bite my hand off. And this is exactly what AI is doing for a lot of developers. GitHub Copilot is a tool that we've been using for more than a year. And it's helped our less experienced developers become more capable, and it's helped our experienced sort of developers and architects do more work of a higher quality than ever before. And then finally, businesses that deploy AI across all industries have lower costs and are more profitable. That's the dream, isn't it? And we see this coming through in real hard statistics across lots of different industries now. I know we all knew this. We all knew this intuitively, but it's great to have some proper sort of facts backing it. And then finally, just a readout of where investment is coming from. So America leads the way in terms of private investment, but the UK isn't far behind. For the UK to be top 3 of of this auspicious list is a wonderful place to be. Per capita, the picture is slightly different. So Israel leads the pack with a colossal per capita investment in AI. We know that they've got a good startup scene and everything else, but it's great to see private investment in AI being really, really significant in the UK. And then finally, we can see the improvement in AI. So I started researching AI sort of around here. So these are AIs that can generate images. You can see the fidelity improves markedly, from 2014 to 2021. And then it doesn't just start creating kangaroos. This is just the bit where you can start actually asking it for stuff. So up until 2021, you just got a randomized face using like a GAN or similar architecture. And then this is the part where, large language model derives image-based systems start coming about, and you can ask for things rather than things just sort of being thrown at you. So I think you can all agree in less than 10 years, the difference from this blurry CCTV face to even 21 is an enormous improvement, and we're seeing similar improvements across all domains, even ones that are more difficult to visualize. So AI's ability to understand and reason, AI's ability to even do things that it was able to do before but at much lower cost and much lower carbon intensity and everything else. So that's the state of the art. So in the agency world.
So yeah, moving on to the agency world. Start with a bit of a bold and provocative statement, but it's from Paul Raker, who's becoming quite a prominent voice in marketing and agency land when it comes to AI, for sure. And he is of the view that there are three categorizations of business, or there will be three categorizations of business. They're going to be AI native companies. So if you were setting up a company today in marketing or anything else, it's highly likely or highly advisable that you'd create all of your operations using AI tools. You'd consider AI how you can actually build the business from the ground up, using the opportunities afforded to you by AI. You're probably even, infusing AI into the products and the services that you sell. So that would be an AI native business. Secondly, there are AI emergent businesses. So businesses that have been around for a little while, 5 years, 10 years, 100 years. And we're all looking at how we can apply AI and everything that comes with it to our existing company and business, and how we can enhance our staff, our products, our services. And it's a very hot topic, and it's what we kind of do. And then the third category of business, aside from those two, are obsolete businesses. And that's a provocative bit of it, right? So companies don't do any of that. They're going to fade away. They're going to melt away. They're going to be overtaken by one or both of these sorts of businesses in their sector. This will happen in every sector, is the view, and the pace will vary by industry. There are various views that actually it's going to happen quite quickly in our world compared to others. So, we're spending a lot of time in the middle here understanding how we adapt and evolve using AI to future-proof our business and continue to grow. And indeed, I'm sure you've all seen these sorts of news announcements this year. If 2023 was the year of AI awareness and acceptance, 2024 is shaping up to be the year of the AI budget. So you have the massive mega groups, Publicis and WPP, coming out in the first month of this year with announcements about how many hundreds of millions of euros they're investing in AI right now each year, and their approach to that. So Publicis is focusing on bespoke proprietary data and how they can use that to enhance the offer to their clients. And they're saying it, to continue the bold statements, they're doing it as advertising industries, quoting these articles from the Financial Times, faces existential threats from generative artificial intelligence. And they're also at pains to say, as well, the company said it believes AI will enhance and not replace human creativity.
Matt, what are they doing? When you say bespoke data, what are they doing with this stuff? I mean, what are they trying to build?
So they have a bunch of reports, proprietary data, research that they claim to have from all of their relationships and work that they've done over the past decade, to say that that is going to inform decisions and services that they can offer clients, right? That's a bit woolly, isn't it?
It is.
But it's all being wrapped up, and the headline here is, we're putting a lot of money into it, right? So there are other announcements that have come out. Well, jumping ahead a little bit, but if you look at S4 Capital, last week they started talking about the shift to their rate card, moving from charging by the hour to shifting to value. So that's a more tangible, real, understandable, interesting, I think, for us to kind of get our hooks into.
Why is that dependent on AI?
Because, well, I'll come on to it. Let's hold that thought, I'll tell you. But, you know, at the moment, neither of these mega groups are saying we're putting all this money into it, we're going to be more efficient, and headcount is going to be challenged, right? That's the implication here. They're not saying that. They're saying it will enhance what we do. It will enhance the humans, and that is our view, right? So, and going on from Henry's chat earlier as well. So, at the moment, where we're at right now, humans plus AI is better than AI alone, right? And similarly, human plus AI is better than a human. So, our teams need to augment and improve and understand how it can benefit them. There will be a point in time where we achieve artificial general intelligence, where actually the AI is better than, you know, humans. That's the aim. That's not the aim, but that's the aim of a lot of people. But that is, you know, very much in the future. And some people say that will be in 5 years' time, which was a quote that Henry started with as well from Sam Altman. But that's where we're at now. That's very much our approach. It's infusing and embedding AI with what we do now, which is a human services creative business, and understanding how we can evolve and adapt and thrive and have longevity. This is, you know, again, another bold statement, but it's what we believe. The present and very near future capabilities of AI necessitate a wholesale reinvention of the agency model at every level. That is the AI emergent kind of place that we need to be. If you think back to those 3 models, that's what we're working on. And why is that? Why do we need to reinvent? 3 areas, 3 kind of top line areas. So AI can do what we do, and it's rapidly improving even compared to like 3 months ago, 6 months ago. The announcements that come out in a single week nowadays would typically be something that we'd expect in tech news over a year. We're getting a bit numb to it. There's a huge amount of progression, and you know, it's just only increasing. So clients are saying, why do we need an agency when an AI can do it just as well for less money? So there's going to be a bit of a lurching shift to in-housing for some clients. I think it will come back, but it won't come back in the same sort of way. And there's an increased pressure to justify our model and existence. AI does enable staff to be much more efficient with far more output per hour. So there's going to be pressure for doing more for the same or for less budget. So how do we preserve our business model with that pressure on billable hours when we charge by the hour? And AI gives everyone superpowers, so particularly the less skilled or the less experienced. So high value, previously long, deep experience roles can actually now be delivered by someone with much less experience. And of course, with that comes much less cost. So clients will be asking, what is this role, why is it needed, and we really need to pay that much for it? So these are all fundamental big challenges that we need to address and work out what we do. So quickly to fly through AI impacting everything, because it really does, just to land the point. Billing models in industry economics are looking at our rate card, and there's some sort of shift to value-based pricing rather than by the hour is an absolute must. Operations, so everything that we use, all of our software, all of our tools, everything that we use to run our processes, ways of working, need to have a rethink. Those tools need to be infused by AI to give us operational excellence and efficiency. The creative process, as we know, that's the one that gets talked about most and grabs the most headlines, but generative AI unlocks previously unimaginable possibilities within creativity. So understanding what that looks like and how our people understand how to apply those tools is imperative. L&D, so learning and development. All staff need to know how to apply AI. Let's not recreate the mistakes, let's say, of the mid-2000s of integrated agencies where we create a digital team and everyone else becomes the traditional offline team, and then you've got this kind of limitation ring fence of that skill set. We need to make sure that this pervades through all departments and through every role. So we need to empower everyone with a base level of understanding and then deliver specialist training in particular targeted roles. Our services need to evolve, so let's look at how we offer our packaged services. How can they be supercharged by AI? What does a new business process look like? If we're delivering work more quickly, it's likely that we're going to have to win more work if we're going to keep the same level of resource, because the throughput will be quicker. So how do we empower and supercharge the new business process with AI? We need to keep innovating all the time. AI native agencies are really going to disrupt us, and we've already seen that with one-person agency offering the service.
Yeah, we saw a case study of a one-person agency that was billing sort of 3 or 4 million a quarter.
Yeah, just using AI tools and individual headcount. Yeah. So we need to really innovate to minimise the impact on these AI native agencies. And the role of the technology consultant or strategic advisor becomes even more important. It's always been there in digital agencies, right? But clients are actually coming to us to ask us to consult on operational kind of digital, what you might have called digital transformation before we started talking about AI, but asking people like Brad, who proved himself to like kind of deliver AI-infused creative development work, are also the same people that are getting asked to like, oh, how can we improve our own internal operations, right? So the role of that consultant is as important as ever, even more important, and applying that thinking and approach to our own work as well. So just to end on my section here, so this is our very top line. There's a lot of information in our AI strategy that we came up with originally in July last year. Most of it remains. We continue to evolve it as new information becomes available, but these are some key areas that we feel are really important for all agencies. So, like I said, AI literacy in every role, everyone and every team needs to be literate and conversant in AI and understand what it means to their role, whilst, yes, providing specialist support and capacity in the middle. That's where Mission Made comes in, so we work alongside the agencies. The model is set up to do that. There'll always be a need for deep specialisms, particularly in technology and technical, but bolting onto the traditional agency-like roles to make sure that we become AI emergent businesses. We need to collaborate with our agencies and work together to infuse that thinking, to come up with new ways and great new innovative campaign ideas or everything else that we offer. And then, not to steal Brad's thunder because he gets very excited about our policy and compliance, but that is a really important area of our AI strategy, and Brad will talk about that in just a second.
Awesome, fantastic. So I'll talk a little bit about how we're using AI now. I'll start with projects we've delivered for clients, so real projects for real clients using some of the best tech in the industry. So this is a project that we delivered October 22 for Molson Coors, who are a big brewery group. They own the Praha brand. Inspired by the sort of street art scene of Prague, the native Prague, we created an AI that can produce street art. So each of these panels here is a unique piece of street art created by an AI artist. Now, if you think about the timing of this, in the August, Midjourney was launched. And by the October, we had launched a successful generative art campaign for a major client using entirely our own tech at a fraction of the cost of Midjourney. This used a thing called a generative adversarial network. We like to think this rests firmly in the corner of doing impossibly creative things. Because at the peak of the project, we had 500,000 pieces of art created by this digital artist. There were amazing scenes. We had our big screens put up in our big shared space down in Devon, which you'll see soon. And we had hundreds of thousands of pieces of art broadcast on those screens, and we had every creative in the building picking things that they thought were interesting out of this amazing compilation of art that this artist had created. So we're super proud of this, really groundbreaking stuff, and the client was obviously over the moon with the work that we've done here. Our first major AI project we did was before the pandemic, before we all understood what R meant and we're all wearing face masks. We produced an AI that can predict waves of cough and colds as they spilled across the UK, and then use it to aggressively optimise the media spend and presence of our brand in those areas. we were told bluntly by our client, just find people with coughs and put our product under their nose, and that's what we did with this AI. We were able to deliver, marketing magic in the they were able to that year simultaneously reduce their media spend by quite some way and improve their market share. And if you can promise that to all of your clients, you're really in a good place. This is a more recent generative art campaign that we did for PwC. They were at the Cannes Festival of Creativity last year, and we produced an AI that was really focused on the individual. So we know that big AI models have a really great knowledge of the world, right? They know how tall the Eiffel Tower was. They know, when the Pope ascended. They'd be brilliant in a pub quiz, but actually they don't know that much about us or our clients. They don't know who Matt or Brad are. So we used a piece of research from Google that was published just a couple of months before to get an AI to learn the likeness of people that attended our event. So they turn up, they'd give their permission, we'd take a couple of snaps of them, the AI would learn their likeness, and then it would render them out as pieces of famous art in famous styles. So some people were rendered as, literally marble statues, which is, I think, probably quite an ego-satisfying way of seeing yourself. Others were, rendered as, Picassos and, Monets and everything else. I've done a lot of live events over the years. And I know how difficult it is to get anyone to do anything at a live event. We had people queued up to use this. A fairly exclusive event, we had 500 people queued up over 3 days to do this. We generated 40,000 pieces of completely unique digital art focused on the individuals that turned up at that event. This, I think, subtly nods towards the future of all of the work that we do, which is if you could teach an AI the likeness of a brand, a product, a model, a cast, then production immediately becomes virtual. Because rather than sending crews out, or rather than, assembling clay motion as we have done for recent TV ads, you ask the AI to generate images, or films, or soundtracks for you based on the things that it's understood. So we see this being a very important baby step towards virtualizing, enormous parts of the industry. This is Pop AI. This isn't a project that I built personally. This is some of our colleagues in Populate Social. This is a brilliant sort of workflow enhancement pipeline that they've created that takes the best of generative AI, the best of their amazing human creatives, puts them in a blender and creates these really amazing images. So all of these are derived from actual product shots, but placed in situations with all of the right lighting and effects to look as if they're done by hand, and all done in an absolute fraction of the time of getting a creative to do it from scratch. So this, I think, is a really well polished, really well positioned and executed illustration of like workflow enhancement that you can get done with AI. And Alex, the guy that sort of invented this workflow, will be given a group-wide talk soon on
and that's on a subscription model as well, to look at the evolution of the rate card. They offer that on a monthly subscription fee.
And it's an all-you-can-eat buffet, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's whatever you put through it, you get out, and you pay your fee. As a coder, as someone that's spent forever, hacking systems together and building apps and AIs and everything else, when I took my new role, I did not think that my best piece of work would be a piece of policy and guidance. This is one of those things that when people know it, they sort of love it because it gives them permission to do bold and interesting things. So we have a broad policy of what our attitude is towards AI and how we see ourselves using it and everything else. But the bit that people have found most useful is we have an index at the back of it of systems that me and our group compliance officer and everyone that's got some responsibility in this area has given these traffic lights. There are the ones that are marked as green, go ahead, do what you like, this thing is amazing. There are ones that are marked as red, don't touch, there's an intellectual property problem here, there's a privacy problem here. And there are ones that are orange, which are use with caution. There may be problems for certain clients, or you may have a conceptual issue with this piece of AI. So, come and talk to us, or have your wits about you if you use the system. So this has become the cornerstone of a lot of the work that we've done sort of subsequently, and is embedded in our group-wide strategy for AI going forwards. This is also something we'd love to talk to any of you guys about. I know that not many businesses actually have anything written down. This is one of those documents that when you become a new employee in Mission, you have to read and understand and apply as part of your role now. AI Logic is a piece of outreach that we do collaboratively. You and I write it, but we get input from around the group.
And ChatGPT.
So, pardon? And ChatGPT, yeah. Whenever I get an at in Teams or an email in my inbox saying, hey, did you see this thing on Twitter? It's amazing. Or did you see this announcement on YouTube? They all make it into a pool, and we do a fortnightly newsletter around all of the latest and greatest. And that spans everything from, research that's being done in Palo Alto all the way through to, amazing tips and tricks that people can use in, GPT or Copilot today. And we get a lot of engagement with this, and we get a lot of input as well. We get people from all around the business, or all around the group, I should say, contributing to this regularly. We do a lot of dedicated outreach as well. So we'll do talks like this, but we'll also do really granular talks on how to achieve certain creative executions, how to optimize your workflow, how to code better, and everything else, and all in between. And the thing with this outreach stuff is that it's not just for agencies, it's stuff that we like to offer to partner agencies, and stuff we also do for clients as well, because we know if clients are feeling brave and inspired, there's a pretty good chance that we're going to get a nice brief from them, and we're going to be able to build something that we're all super proud of. So this is an example of something called a control net. So this is a combination of a typical AI image model constrained to a particular geometry. So you can see a spiral cutting through this image. So the creative uploads a mask of the spiral and then says, give me a painting of an alpine village in Renaissance style, and this is what comes out of it. Imagine creating that by hands. Like the level of attention that would be required to get the geometry and perspective right for that. I'm not saying people can't do this, but it's amazing that we can do this in just a couple of clicks now. So, conversational experiences.
So, we've started talking a lot about conversational experiences. Why? That's because there's a lot happening in AI, as we know, and it can be difficult for agencies and clients to know what to focus on. Everyone can feel like they're falling behind, especially when our clients are being challenged by their bosses, their businesses to show some progress or know what they're doing with AI or have a plan. And as we've seen, budgets for AI projects are being prioritised. We've definitely seen that as the new budgets came around for 2024. Conversations really started to pick up, and we've been creating on all sorts of a different range of proposals for clients because they need to be seen to be doing something. So we have 3 categories of experience that are achievable right now and part of our wider AI offer. They're relatable and actionable, so they're things that people can understand rather than just let's do some AI. And we know the market is heading this way as well. So we've really focused it right down into these areas. So one is at the lower, easier end, so GPTs, so OpenAI are very much trying to get people to say there's a GPT for that, as much as like there's an app for that from quite a while ago now. But simple chat experiences. You don't even need a developer to create these things. They can be on the GPT App Store. They can be private enterprise apps as well. But they can be really simple, singular-focused applications for things like staff onboarding internally, travel planning, recipe finders, that sort of stuff. In the middle, everyone knows what a website is, and the agencies, they've used client services, creators are used to talking to clients about websites. Let's bring an element of conversation into that as well. So we're starting to design, and we're taking an approach with our approach to UI and UX to, yes, of course, deliver websites. So you can still browse around, click around and find the information as well, but prominently bring up a conversational interface and box so people can cut to the chase and interrogate the website and ask that brand to give me this information. And it's not just a chatbot experience. It's prominent, it's front and centre, and it's giving more than just Q&A back and forward. It can do conversions and arrange meetings, whatever it may be. It's going to take you all the way through to conversion, and it's multimodal as well, so it can deliver videos, audio, any sort of document as well, a document format, not just text. Like I said, we're seeing that in all sorts of websites. And then the more bespoke large language models. So These are models that are designed and delivered for specific purposes and private for a particular client, to be trained on their own proprietary data, to be highly reliable, highly accurate, remove the hallucination that you might get with publicly available LLMs on the internet, to, for example, be a really dedicated research system. So you could train it on proprietary information that is highly technical, highly scientific for a particular client, but then overlay this great user experience that is tailored to their needs to provide that endless, tirelessly brilliant research assistant to give them what they need. Internal knowledge bases, help with like kind of working out product strategy, go-to-market strategy, that sort of thing. So by distilling it down into these tangible and actionable areas, we're really getting some traction. This is our, like I said, complexity of requirements from left to right. It becomes more complicated as you go towards the bespoke LLMs, but it's allowed us to create this, our approach to AI design strategy. So it needs to be on brand, knowledgeable, credible, on task. The systems that we use are like the best in the market at the moment. We're always keeping an eye on which open source tools might overtake the ones that we use, but right now we're using the best ones, built on GPT-4 and their related models, and it importantly integrates with the client systems and data that they have in place.
The key thing here is that our AI strategy brings together non-technical people. So, you know, early on we got the tech side of this nailed, and now we're bringing in the designers, the user experience people to enrich it and make it, you know, a relevant and enduring offer that has differentiation.
So, just finally, what opportunities are there to work together and for us to help you and you to help us? So, well, we just touched on conversation experience is a really good starting point. Like I said, they're fully understood, they're well established, you know, interactions that the agencies have always delivered. They're tangible and they're in demand right now. AI can infuse campaign ideas. So how do we bring an element of AI thinking? How do we bring the technology to create something that really elevates a campaign idea? How do we apply all of that to creative technology? We can help, like I said, we do a lot of inspiration and general AI awareness sessions, and we do that internally. And as Brad said, with some clients as well, to really get the conversation going. We find that they work very well. You tell us. And to steal Brad's line, which he always drops in, he says, get in touch with Brad if you've got something that starts with, wouldn't it be great if ... And he's a man that often has the answer to those sorts of questions. So if you find yourself thinking that, then think of us. I think that's it. Cool. Yes.